the Port Authority. All right, let's call the Port Authority Board meeting for Tuesday, July 7th, 2020 to order, and let's all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call, please.
Chairman Carl Roth.
Here.
Member Ron Padova.
Here.
Member Chris Leeds.
Here.
Okay, we have before us the minutes of 6/2/20. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
A motion to approve the minutes from last meeting?
Yes. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, since it's all right with you guys, we'll just ask for input from the audience if there's any things that we should be considering as part of the discussion straight out of the block. And you can open it up. Anybody in the audience have anything that they'd like to bring forward for us to discuss? Mr. Red.
Red Satchel, 8050 Brighton Drive. What we need, and he'll tell you, and so will he'll tell you. We need the police boat out there on the weekends, from 2 o'clock Saturday to 7 o'clock. A must, not a maybe. You plant flowers on 19, you put a new gate around, you can afford 10 hours to pay a cop. He'll tell you, won't you, Ron? How about you, Carl? You'll tell him, won't you?
I'm on the water.
I'm on the side. I'm right down the street from these guys. These are my neighbors.
Oh, Chris, right around the corner from us.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Island.
Island Drive. Island Drive. And
Island? Whereabouts?
The tall greenhouse across from Jeannie and Terry.
Oh, okay.
And I'm on the water too, and I'm in a complete agreement. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been on the water since '74 here.
Yeah.
I got the police boat out from Jerry before the boat parade. I told Jerry, you need to put the police boat in. Jerry says, Red, we ain't got the money. Really? I go to Lupo. Vince, we need the police boat out. I says, I hear from somebody. I didn't tell him Jerry, you. I says, we got no money to pay a cop for 10 hours, a must on a Saturday and Sunday without doubt for this police boat. They start coming in at 2 o'clock. In fact, if you want, I used to be out there for 25 years. And what do they do out to Sandbar, Carl, Ron? What's this? Every third boat, you can impound a boat if you want to make more money, subcontracted to Seatow or any one of them, and you got it made. No, they don't. No, that's okay. You can drive a boat, huh? No. 0.08, same as a car.
Yep.
So, that's okay. Let's get over that. The speeding. The people that use the river, you use it, I use it, he uses it, they all use it. Newport Richie uses it, Miller's Bayou uses it. On the river itself, the people that use the river respect the river. Why? They got to use it. Next week, maybe 2 weeks from now, your cousin's coming down. 3 weeks, you're using the river. So you got to respect it, or you don't have a brain. The people that trailering from Moon Lake, Regency, Embassy, so on and so forth, they really don't care. And that's the people he's yelling at, and probably him. I'm sure you yelled. I'd be out there probably with a 12 gauge. They'll slow down. Anyhow, we need the police boat. And Lupo says, well, we got plenty of money. I says, get the boat out there. I'm going back to Jerry. You're telling me, Jerry, you guys got no money here. He's telling me we got money. Who the hell do I believe? You want some free advertisement? I'll get you on the news. No problem. If I got a friend in 13 and 10. Oh, no. Well, they had it out. They had it out quite a few times after the boat parade. And there's people coming in there. Well, again.
15 seconds, Red.
Huh?
15 seconds.
15 seconds left?
Can you wrap up?
Oh, well, that's basically what I'm here for.
Okay.
And you should appreciate that, and so should you appreciate it, and you're on the Port Authority. I did that 15 years ago. I was sitting there.
Right. Well, just to give you some context, the last meeting which we agreed to was that we wanted to put together something for city council. We're trying to get on the agenda for city council about a community policing educational process on river safety to get all the law enforcement entities, starting with the city police, Newport Richey Police, Fish and Water, and the sheriff and Coast Guard together to do some training and get people on board as far as what the rules are in the river waterway, in the idle speed and the no wake zone. So that's something we had discussed, I think more extensively at the last meeting, but
The last meeting, it's in the minutes. We also talked about putting signage up at Nick Park, explaining no wake, where the no wake is, and actually putting on the sign what the fine is for speeding. If it's $300.
I go down the boat ramp.
$300.
I go down the
There's
boat
a lot
ramp.
of people that have bought boats since COVID started. Anything that floats and has a motor, you go to the marinas, it's sold.
Right.
A lot of new people out there, they're uneducated, they don't know what a no wake is.
You said it, you said it.
Part of the thing was, we could put patrol out there and write tickets, but we also have to do education, and that's where we came up with safety.
Yeah, well,
safety
I get a
stuff.
ticket, I'll be educated real quick. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
Yeah.
so will
Yeah.
they.
That's
Agreed.
part of the
Right.
situation is educating the voters about the safety, respecting the riverway and everything else, and offering classes monthly that people can go to, maybe even hook it up with the marinas or the
Right.
dealers and saying, hey, you just bought a boat,
So-
you might wanna go to this course and listen to whoever puts it on, it's once
Yeah,
a month,
yeah.
and teach them about the river, their area, and what's going on.
So
So I think it goes hand in hand, not only patrol out there,
All right.
but we have to do the safety.
So I got 10 seconds left, right?
Okay.
He took most of my time. I'm gonna give you 10 seconds.
all right.
Boat trailers, I go down the park every Saturday and Sunday at 11:30 sharp. Why? I ride around. You got your 20 spots are full. 2 of them cars in that ramp come from the city. They live here, they pay taxes here. All the other idiots come from Moon Lakes, wherever, Shady Hills, Regency, Embassy, blah, blah. We gotta pay for a boat ramp, it's screwed up. Sun Cruise is making $5 a car across the street from the and across the street from Whiskey Joe's, and we get shit. Well, that's pretty bad. So you need to do something about that.
All right.
Talk to your council. You got 2 good guys, him and Todd. The other ones, I don't know. I'm not happy with the mayor yet.
I got-
He'll know. He'll find out real quick. I'm done.
Thanks, Red. Dave, you got anything?
Yeah. Dave Mueller, 5439 Blue Point. I don't know if anybody paid attention to the paper today. It talked about Tarpon Springs securing dredging of the Anclote River, about $3.5 million worth of grant money from the Fed. Also, they were prepared to tow their own note on dredging the basin, the turning basin up there at the bridge. I just think that we really need to put a full court press on trying to look at opportunities to leverage federal, state, whatever money. And I know that, Carl, you and I are loosely meeting on some other things, so hopefully we can get in front of the mayor and city council to put forth some ideas and let them delegate some of that effort to this group of folks, the Port Authority, so that we could try to get something on the agenda, and I'm willing to put time and effort in as well to assist when whatever you might need.
Great. Thank you. Anything? Okay. All right. Just like to just go around the horn here. If there's anything that you guys want to bring up today, in addition to our other topics, I just wanted to open it up to Ronnie. You want to go first? If there's anything or any things that have come up that you're aware of.
No, I just wanted to put it out there that we've already discussed the situation of the river, between the patrol and try to get some kind of safety going, to educate them, not only just get tickets, but also educate them. Hoping to get that, something through with that, and to work with, again, all the municipalities, Newport Richey, Port Richey, Sheriff's Office, FWC, and Coast Guard, to get them all on board and try to
Thank you. Chris, anything?
Just on that topic, I think the education and the enforcement can go hand in hand. I think the, formal request to the council to get the police boat out there on weekends, if it's just a specific time, I like the 2 to 10, right? Or
Yeah.
whatever that time is.
Yep.
But that's something we can do immediately, and whether they get the boat out there or not, it's just getting that request
And I'd
out.
add to that, if they're gonna put the police boat out, it needs to stay in the river.
Right.
Not go out in the Gulf and drive around, because
Right.
that really doesn't help the problem we have,
Right.
which is in the river, they should never leave the idle zone.
Right.
From the dock to the sand pebble, that's the area that you can patrol.
And Sal, you might be able to clarify this, but my understanding is the city, the municipality really extends just to really the mouth of the river.
Right.
Isn't that correct?
Yeah, when you start going out there, it's
I think Dirty Key is part of the city of
I don't,
Ridge.
I don't think so. No, I'm not sure, but I don't believe, based on some stuff that I was looking at.
Dirty Key.
Dirty Key.
Carl, can I say something?
Sure.
Gene Blythe, remember Gene?
Who?
Gene Blythe.
No.
Gene.
Oh, okay.
Patrol. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
Ron knows him. Captain Gene is.
Yeah.
He was in charge of the police boat. According to him, they go out 9 miles. According to him, they go out to Angelo. It ain't no way the city covers out there. I don't have
Right.
to be on the council.
No,
to
I-
figure that out.
All right. Well, that was just looking for if I could get some confirmation, because Sal would know, had the best shot of any of us knowing for sure. But,
I'll have that research and talk to the police department to see what they actually look at their jurisdiction.
yeah,
But again,
the
the
concentration.
planes are in the river.
Right.
It's not out in the Gulf, flying around doing safety checks and all that.
Right.
It's in the river.
They don't even have to go around the point.
police boat
Right.
should not leave and go past the conduct.
Right.
From the corner in is where they just need to sit and educate, give tickets.
Right.
etc.
Now, I think the times that Red's talking about, I mean, is on board. We see 2 chunks. There's the groups that go out, and they go out from about 9:30 to 11:30, so you'll see those chunks going out. And then you'll see the early returners starting to come back in about 2:30, and they're coming in until about 4:30. And then you have the late returners that have been a little more festive, coming from 4:30 to dark. So you got a couple of opportunities there. And I think what I've seen most recently, because of, I think, the COVID situation, there's been a lot more recreation in the river, where there are kids being towed on floatables behind boats, and generally doing it safely. But if somebody is not safe, I think there was an accident down in Pinellas County where somebody got run over. So those are the things that I think we want to make sure don't occur in the Cody River, because that's not the kind of stuff that we really want in the community. So, okay, so let's move on to the first agenda item. And really what I did here is, because we talked about this a while ago, I just want to make sure I have my notes straight on what we want to get front and center on city council. And as I think you know, we have a new interim city manager, Leonard Sosaman. Is that right? So, I left a message with him today inviting him to the meeting. I didn't expect him to attend because I figure he's got a lot of things going on, but I will reach out to him to try to get on the agenda. If nothing more, a mention at next council meeting, which is next week. So if there's a chance to get on, or if he suggests that I could come in and fill in some time during the meeting in general, I will go and do, but I'll look to close with him on that. I figure that's the best thing. So my main goal was to confirm, since we talked about this really several weeks ago, these are the things that I had some notes about to talk with them, and that was the dredging review timeline, which I believe we're kind of stymied on because we haven't been able to get in front of them to get confirmation that this is what they want. So that was kind of the first thing out of the blocks. And then the next thing was the whole dredging questionnaire we had talked about, that we really wanted to get community engagement to say, hey, is this really important to you? And talk about what we had in mind with that questionnaire and what we wanted to accomplish. And then to what we were talking first thing during the meeting was the Port Richey Police Department and law enforcement organization Waterway Safety Initiative, addressing what Red had brought. Those were the three big items that I had. Is there anything else, Ron? I'll go to Ron first. Anything else you can think of, or any other secondary items that?
No, that was fine because we haven't gotten any of those.
Right.
I don't think it does any good to add more to it until we, like for the dredging, the whole thing was the timeline review, but the questionnaire has got to get out there.
Right.
We need to know what do the citizens think? And that was the big questionnaire. I mean,
Yep.
That's going to give us a lot to go forward, not only Fort Ritchie, for the council, but also with the city, with the county.
Right. Chris?
Agreed.
Okay. So, and I think, Ron, you did a good summary here for Red as far as the waterway safety initiative. It's multi-objective. I mean, there's certainly the hammer, but we're going to try to get a carrot out there as well, and then use the hammer if necessary if people don't get it. So we were debating earlier as far as the new neighbor down your and my canal, Red, went hauling out this evening.
Put an airboat?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the story there? Terry's airboat, what happened? I heard him.
Yeah, it's the new neighbor owns it now, and
Paul's
he,
house, Paul and Annette's house.
yeah, so he kind of missed the idle speed, slow speed zone
He missed
issue.
a couple signs.
Yeah,
23 and out around the S turn.
right,
Idle speed up to the 23, then you
Right.
kick in the ass a little bit and go, and a little more of a weight, minimum
Right.
weight.
so we were drawing straws earlier to say
Maybe you ought
who
say
was
the
going to,
channel of the airboat so he sees the signs. I don't know where, I didn't see where he rode. I heard the boat start
Yeah.
up and I heard it go out, and I heard one, as soon as he got by
yep,
Nick's house, or Nicky, across from you.
Yep.
Across your house there, I heard the boat take off.
right. So those are the main things. That's what we're going to still try to get on the agenda. Maybe on the 14th, we'll see. And at the end here, we'll talk about the next meeting, but I'd really think we've got to push the issue to say, what does council want out of us in some ways before we schedule a hard next meeting, but we'll come to that in a minute. Okay, if there's nothing else around item 2, we'll move to topic 3, which is, and I'll kind of introduce this because I discussed, there's parallel dredging interests, I'll say, out there in the community, and I just wanted to get it on our table to make sure that we were aware of what was going on. And from my standpoint, I see 3 things going right now. There's certainly the city's initiative with the permits and dredging and funding that's been received from the Restore Act, number 1. Number 2, Jack Mariano had reached out and had talked about some opportunities to leverage the Magnolia Valley drainage initiative, and there's some Restore Act funds associated with that, and Swift Mud for drainage and clean water. So there's another potential with the county around that umbrella, okay? And one of the things that in the last conversation I had with them was the potential establishment of a 501c3 type entity analogous to what Crystal River has an initiative going on, that's how they're doing their dredging and how they're doing their water cleanup and dealing all their stuff in Crystal River and that basin up there. So that's number 2, another initiative out there, or excuse me, number 3, that's another initiative. And the Pasco County Restore piece that's on the agenda here is really part and parcel of that, because Jack Mariano foresees that, or knows that there are some, let me back up. There are apparently 3 pots of money associated with the Restore Act. Pot 1 translated to the $667,000 that we got initial tranche on. There's pot 2s and pot 3s. he believes, Jack believes, that if we have some type of entity in place that can catch the Pot 2 or Pot 3 funding, then that could be a potential win to help in this process. And then, so that's number 2. And then number 3, I had met with Mr. Mueller here and several other folks about another potential initiative that I will say more community-based. The gentleman that is kind of heading up Alan Rose has been working with the county to some extent, at least from communications and whatnot, on another potential strategy utilizing the Coastal Barrier Protection Resource Program. And there's a litany of federal grants that he believes that the community could leverage if we were so engaged. So whether the city gets engaged, the county gets engaged, there's potential big pot of funds that are potentially available. So as part of that conversation, he had suggested that if you were a 501c3 organization, you may not be able to go after those funds. I took a look at one of the grants, and it does not preclude 501c3 entities going after those funds. So I didn't want to delve in it too far because I don't know where it's going yet. But I just wanted to clarify, at least in my mind, so we were all on the same sheet of music. I'm aware of at least 3 things that are happening or could potentially happen to realize dredging in the city. And that's where I wanted to go with this and see if there's any questions or discussions from the dais here. So Chris, I'll leave it with you to start.
Carl, complete agreement, this is what we need to be focused on.
Complete agreement, this is what we need to be focused on and the way we need to approach it. And, we just need clear direction from the council on what how far they want us to go and who they want us to work with.
Okay.
So getting that answered is number 1 priority, I think.
All right. Ronnie?
I agree with Chris.
Okay.
It's gonna have our direction.
Yep. I agree.
All right.
Okay, so what I'd like to do is any input from the audience on this particular topic from anyone? Okay. Up. Well, hang on a second, Dave.
Tom Kinsella, 8203 Aquila Street.
Hey, Tom.
I just want to share that and give you my thoughts on this group right here. As a council member, I'm really looking forward to hear more from you. Me personally, I would like to see more involvement of this because you're representing the citizens out there. They should be coming to you saying this is what we want. And then take a step backwards. When I first came here, which has only been a few years, I joined the Citizens Advisory Committee, and I heard about it, and they just started back up again. And that whole committee, there was 7, 8 of us at the time, very, very gun shy because we didn't know how far, what we could do, what we couldn't do. Everybody was afraid to approach the council. And gradually they start asking to do different things, and each time it was granted. Majority of the time it was granted. I've seen over the year now things have changed, I feel, into betterment because I'm seeing where the council, they want to see the involvement. Me personally, I would love to see y'all very, very involved. Have a voice, come with the great ideas, share the ideas, and move forward. Because again, you're representing all of us citizens, especially those of us who do live on the water. I like to see that increased. But having y'all's input, your research, and anything and everything that would assist the council to make give a clear direction is going to help all of us. So I encourage you all to please, come in there full force and just share it and just move forward. And I like to see y'all really, really become strong. and out there and powerful for us. So
We'd
just-
like to as well, and if I may, Carl.
y'all have
Yeah,
some great ideas. I'm listening, and it's like, this is what I've been hearing since I moved into city a few years
Right.
ago. You're doing exactly what is needed, and I encourage y'all to keep that up and
Well,
don't stop.
We've had a couple of requests to be, on the council agenda, right, to come and get some direction. What we don't want to do is overstep the bounds in either working with the county or different agencies, because there have been conversations between the mayor and the council and the county that we just need to make sure we're on the right side of that, doing what the council wants us to do. And we, so far, it's been very quiet. So if we can get on that agenda, and maybe there's a joint meeting, or we have the council come in and talk with us and give us some direction.
Yeah.
We're just, we've got a lot of things we want to do, and we feel like, if it's go work with the county and take this forward, then I think we're happy to do that.
I think, if I may, Ronnie, we've we've tried to get on the agenda, and certainly, there have been challenges in the city here the last couple of months, not to mention the greater picture, but we've been unsuccessful. And we've made requests through channels. And that's why we wanted to review, going to try the rodeo again to try to get on the agenda to move forward. So any assistance that you can provide in helping on that process would be
And I
greatly
will.
appreciated.
I will, because honestly, me personally would like to hear more from you all. And at the same time, I would like to see you all having more authority and power to move forward. And let's do something, because the biggest complaint that I'm hearing from the citizens is there's a lot of talk, but there's been no
Right.
action. And me personally, I would love to see the action. We all need it.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be great.
But I encourage you, I applaud you all for what you're doing, and looking forward to seeing more, hearing more, and working with you all. But thank you all.
Thank you. Okay. Any other items around the dredging? Dave, I'm sorry.
Dave Mueller, 5439 Blue Point. I also echo Tom's sentiments about pulling together, even potentially having an agenda item for all the committees at the council meeting so they can prepare one or both meetings every month to come and say, hey, where are you at? And this would be a good way for an administration to run, is to see what their committees are doing and they get their ideas. Certainly, with all the dredging that I'm here going on, and I know Jack's kind of engaged in that as well, potentially you have the ability to leverage a lot of work for a particular company that's winning that dredge, and potentially you don't have all the mobilization and all the other costs that attach to that. It would behoove us to work with the county, because they have the resources to be able to address a large-scale project like that all up and down our coast. And potentially some of these funds that we looked at or we were made aware of could certainly benefit the whole community, Pasco County. And we have a resource here. Everything's moving this direction. Everything is moving toward the coast, and it's begs help. And right now we need help. We all need to have our property or highways or waterways maintained, and that's not getting addressed. So it's been neglected for 40, 50 years. So I'd like to see that move forward, and I'm ready, willing, and able to help. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. One of the, kind of picking up on that a little bit, one of the things I saw going through the Coastal Barrier Protection Program was the potential benefit on flood insurance reduction. So that way the whole community benefits if we can leverage some of that. And because I think the flood stuff is all based on the county or the municipality level. There's some number set. So when you reach certain thresholds, then your rate factor, if you will, goes down for your citizens. So if we could drive that down for Pasco County and Port Richey, New Port Richey, whomever, that would get everybody on board if we can figure out how to crack that nut, so.
Hey, Carl.
Yes, sir.
One quick thing I forgot. I keep getting asked and being texted, is this meeting being televised? I would petition this group to seek and try to get this
Live rather than
live,
recorded.
just like the rest of the meetings. There's probably no reason why it can't be,
Oh.
but that's something to think about.
Because right now, correct me if I'm wrong, Sal, this is recorded, but it's not live, is that correct?
To be on
Yes,
YouTube.
It'll be recorded and uploaded first thing in the morning. I do not have the ability personally to live feed from this station. So that would require another person, another person in personnel to live feed it from a separate station, just like we did the council meetings.
Okay.
As of right now, we don't have approval for that, but I'm not saying it is possible.
Gotcha.
You know,
We just don't do it.
Right, just for
Okay.
budgetary reasons, I'm the only one here tonight.
Okay. All right, I'll put that, what I'll do as part of our council topics, I'll just lay that in there as extracurricular.
Mhm.
Okay. Gents, if there's no other topics, I don't have anything else as far as things go. The only, I'll just state my piece and then I'll open it up to you guys. Until I feel if we don't get some direction from the council at this time, I would suggest standing by. We could, there's the 21st, 2 weeks is our normally scheduled meeting. The only thing that I could consider that I have on the horizon is if Sea and Shore is interesting on Thursday, and the preliminary conversation I had with him is he'd be willing to come in and educate us. I figured that buys us another cycle, even if we didn't get in front of the council. So we could get smarter if they're willing. So that's one thing. We could build on whatever we heard on Thursday and certainly can share that with, and then we can build on that and take it to the next level, if that's something you gents would like to do. So that's my piece.
I think we're at a place where we know what we want to do. We think we have a path forward
Okay.
for both the education and on the dredging topics
Okay.
and working with different agencies. Unless we have clear direction, meeting again to agree that we've got a path forward and we know what we want to do
Yep.
is unnecessary. So
Okay.
if we could have a meeting that was educational and we learned more, I think that's fantastic. But
Okay.
these priorities are pretty clear,
Okay.
and we don't have anything additional to add to it at this time. So
Okay.
I would support that.
Good. Ronnie?
I agree, we can't go forward because we've been stuck at this point for
Couple of meetings now.
a
Yeah.
couple of meetings now, without these from the city council, going forward, there's no issue putting more things on the agenda.
Right.
We have to get these
Right.
addressed first.
Okay. So what I will do is I will make every effort to get in front of Tom, city council members, meet with Leonard, if I have to stand outside his doorstep, to get us on the agenda. And then once we get on the agenda, then we'll take it from there. I'll let you guys know. And if we make a full court press about it, I'm not sure how to get the word out in general other than to the community. You'll see that on the agenda, that Port Authority Board is on the council's agenda. So maybe we can get a bigger push from people in the community and say, hey, I'm interested, I'm interested, I'm interested. These guys have something rational to say. You need to get off your duff, excuse me, and give them the authority to go and pursue some of this stuff in your stead. But you got to bless it, okay? And then keep the hand on the reins when you're doing that. So that's my general thought. Is that-
Agreed.
Okay. All right. So if there's nothing else from the audience, I will ask if there's a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved.